Hey, what's up, guys? Ken here from the Retro Toyscapades channel. I hope that everyone's doing good out there. Now, today on the channel, I'm starting a brand new segment looking at toy catalogs of the 1980s, my favorite era of toys. And I'm sure the favorite as well for those of you following the channel. I'm going to be kicking things off with a toy catalog for my absolute favorite toy series of the 80s, M.A.S.K, Mobile Armored Strike Command. Now, this is a Series 1 catalog for the first wave of toys. I don't actually remember seeing this as a kid. My first ever M.A.S.K toy was actually the Hurricane from Series 2, and by then, they were putting out the red catalogs, as we'll cover in a future episode. But yeah, I only got my hands on this sometime a year ago, a couple of years ago, in fact, when I got into recollecting all the M.A.S.K toys I missed out on from childhood. And you know what? Seeing this for the first time sure is mesmerizing and nostalgic. So we've got this thing opened up, and let's check out what's inside. Okay, on one side of the catalog is this mega-sized poster of the M.A.S.K Series 1 vehicles in action. This thing just looks fantastic. Now it pops in full color, and the art has a very innocent, childlike quality to it. You know, I kind of like how Cliff Dagger here looks like he's wearing a diaper on his head. Check that out. In many ways, this poster kind of looks like the portrait that you would find in a preschool, which I'm sure on some level is what the manufacturers were going for. It's very well depicted, although not super detailed, and kind of skirts the fine line between violent combat that's still portrayed in a playful manner for kids. But yeah, man, this thing is just fantastic. I kind of noticed that the firecracker is not actually here. That was a Series 1 vehicle, but it's not really here on the poster. Okay, now let's check out what's on the flip side of this. Okay, here's where we get all the goods. Over at the top, we get the introduction and the description of the toy line. M.A.S.K was probably one of the first times I got used to the idea of acronyms as a kid. Like there will be more to the word than just a word. For example, yes, you would think that the toy line was called M.A.S.K because the agents wore masks into combat. But then you realize that it actually stands for something else, like Mobile Armored Strike Command. Yeah. Oh man, checking out the toys, and we have the Boulder Hill playset. I don't know anyone in my circle of friends who actually had that one growing up. But the thing about these catalogs, having them as a kid, these were pretty much the only pictorial references we would have to the toys. Now, I remember spending hours in a day, just hours just looking at these pictures, dreaming of a time when I could actually hold and play with them myself, and that time, that future time would only come when I was a lot older, and when I had access to a credit card. But yeah, even a catalog like this, you'd have to rely on one of your friends who actually had access to it because he bought one of the vehicles, and the vehicles would come with the free catalog, and sometimes you want to borrow the catalog just so that you could look at the photos over and over again. Wow, you know what? These vehicles right here, the Switchblade, the Rhino. I remember the first time I got these two as an adult, and you know what? It took me right back to being 9 years old again. And the Thunderhawk right here, probably the most iconic vehicle in the series. And maybe also one of the silliest. Just flip the doors up, and the car becomes a flying craft. Yeah. But yeah, this catalog is just amazing, and looking around, there's also some interesting stuff here, which quite frankly I don't think I've ever really seen before. Stuff like this M.A.S.K board game. Wow, when did they have that one? The great thing about these board games is that all the additional artwork that you'd get on the board itself, and that sometimes come with like miniature representations of the vehicles. But I don't think I've ever actually seen this one anywhere. And and then there's actually a Rhino model kit here that was put out by MPC in the 80s. Wow, this thing seems to have all the functions of the regular Rhino toy, but you actually get to build it yourself. Hey, does anyone know if this thing was ever actually produced? I mean, I went online, but I couldn't seem to find any pictures of it anywhere. Maybe they put it out in the catalog, but it wasn't something that they actually ended up going to production. I don't know. Leave a comment below if any of you have it, or if you've seen it. Yeah, let me know. Well, that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what are the catalogs you want me to cover for the next couple of videos in this series. Hey, thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you guys again real soon.